comrades. I had failed in my task to approach ambassadorial staff at the mission of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea due to, as was predicated by Kiwi Farms, their unavailability, secrecy, and reluctance to approach me. My mother had cleaned, pressed, and neatened my suit the day prior, so my appearance was that of impeccability. My best, mostly unworn loafers were found, and hair tied tightly, tucked underneath my shirt to convey the socialist lifestyle impression. They, one of them anyway, took a cursory look at my leather from the gates. Timed out there, sorry. Gave their appreciation for my efforts and asked if I could, and I quote, return at a time when the international situation is less complicated. I gave them my mailing address, and although they hadn't masses of literature to hand, they appreciated my contempt for the Spaniard poser, as I and this man had mutually referred to him. Sorry, I keep losing my place because of my bad handwriting. And asked if I could be patient enough for a number of months, sufficient to see what they can locate, where, and when. Unfortunately, too, they had no badges to hand, but were once again happy to send one. They gave me a styrofoam cup of Korean cha through the gates. Courteous, polite, friendly, and respectful had I found them, which one would bet of corrupt Celto-Negroid career politicians to be the opposite, cold and distant. It is clear R/K selectivity paradigms are affirmed here. They were not mere rote automatons, but had clear ardor and passion in our hour or so discussion, as was apparent from both of our sides prior to departing. They had deeply related to my disappointment with the West, its atomistic and socially ununified culture, and the hypocrisy of misdiagnosing someone with a personality, as my ambassadorial counterpart put it, perfect for Chosun, with a so-called quote-unquote disability, deflecting the blame off liberal degeneration onto me for their own failings. I inquired whether the Christmas/Kim Jong-suk celebratory period would be a more apposite time to negotiate a defection, or at least an in-depth ambassadorial familiarization with their greatest fanatic, and they said, if you don't get an RSVP, come anyway, since you are, and have been for a while now, known to us. I was curious as to what he had meant by his final remark, wondering if Cuntsterian and the like had anything to do with this, but I decided not to press further in my inquiries. Perhaps they're just avid internet users when abroad. It was in all interesting, and although slightly disappointing, semi-productive, a journey. They issued the parting remarks The West has failed wastefully your potential, and they are right, frankly. I regard, nevertheless, the Jucheists my closest and dearest friends, and no shall doubt that I was able to embark on this journey. My most scorn-worthy enemies, particularly the post-operative transsexual pseudo-Asperger LagoonaBlue, who has to familiarize themselves with Farial solely to bolster their trolling plots, which shall be further elucidated in a future podcast upcoming.